What's up? Alright, big disclaimer. If you're a sheep and you're going to not watch this video and leave a nasty, hypocritical fallacy comment, you will be dragged in my next video. So be prepared. Rage as much as you want in the comments, because I love listening to people's fallacies, excuses, justifications, and people being biased and saying, oh, well, Queen made a video now it's over. Oh, are you scared? Are you scared that I might find something in there? Oh, well, that's really weird. What makes you think that she's correct in the whole thing? Even I don't know if she's correct, and that's a part of my other disclaimer. I think a lot of people got things wrong in their story. Dwayne, Queen, the grandmama, the mother. I think all of them messed up in some way, but it's really hard to tell when I do not have specific things. It was really hard to come up with a proper conclusion due to people not willing to give me timestamps, and it's like pulling teeth. It's like, man, if I'm not gonna get that, I'm not gonna ask this question, and get clarification for this, because you can't give me one simple shred of evidence or timestamp, and I'm like, I'm not going to be bothered. So due to those certain things and not being able to get specific information, this video may be 70 to 90% accurate and like 10% inaccurate. And that's only because due to their story being either inaccurate or some things have been left out and not properly explained. It's been a whole mess after the whole situation of Queen making a post wondering where CJ was, then Chris Sell's family going on YouTube sharing their side of the story of the situation, and then Dwayne and Chris making their side of the situation. Well, Queen has finally uploaded a video sharing her side of the situation, and today we're going to get into that. At the start of the video, Queen Naija talks about how Chris Sells was putting CJ at risk.
I was like getting videos and things sent to me of CJ not being away from people. It was being kickbacks thrown and this and that, and the whole social distancing thing wasn't even happening over there in Houston. Then I started thinking, well, shoot, is it better if he just come back here? But then again, I don't want to put him on a plane, and I don't know. I was just so confused. I was just battling with myself about should I bring him back or not.
Now, Queen could have easily drove to Houston, but instead she decided to talk to Chris Sells.
Instead of trying to get him back, I just talked to his dad and I was like, hey, I seen you had people coming over and yada yada yada. I don't think it's the right time to be doing that. And he was like, oh, well, CJ don't be around them, no way. And you know, he was at so-and-so's house, or he was upstairs, or this or that.
Yes, because anyone who potentially had CC will never spread the virus if they're all over your furniture, all over your kitchen, all over maybe touching Chris. And then when CJ comes home and gives his dad a hug and touches the furniture where someone else was laying, CJ potentially won't get anything. Queen then talks about how she got the call from the CPS.
But then one day, not too long ago, I got a call from a Texas number. I didn't know who it was, but I picked it up anyway because I thought it probably could be important. And it was a CPS worker. It was a social worker. She was telling me that she went to Chris's house to see about CJ because she had got some complaint from some anonymous people talking about CJ was being exposed to all these things that he wasn't supposed to be exposed to, and that it was on video and people could clearly see it, but I'm not going to go into that.
Now, a lot of people have been putting the figure at me, and that's why CPS is called due to the video that I have made. Yes, that is a potential case, but that's not my fault. But that will have to be a whole nother video. If you really want me to get into that, let me know in the comment section below. Queen Naija then talks about the incident that happened that night when Chris Sell got arrested.
She said that she called me because she was concerned. They were saying that CJ wasn't there, all right? So his dad was telling her he's not here anyway, so you can't see him. But at the same time, I guess some police had showed up to the door as well, separate from her, and they was about to arrest him. So then now she's thinking, okay, so the child is not in the father's care right now, and the father is about to get locked up, so let me call the mom. You guys, that the lady also told me that Chris told her before he got arrested that CJ wasn't there and he was with his friend named Tiffany. All right, the CPS lady had told me was with somebody by the name of Tiffany.
So obviously the CPS didn't give extra more details to Queen Naija, because if they did give the details to Queen Naija, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't go through all the loops that she did to get a hold of CJ. Now, some of you are making the claim that Queen knew who Tiffany was, so why didn't she just contact Tiffany through Instagram? So I'm going to show you why she couldn't. So as you can see, this is my Tea Lead page. Make sure to go over there and give me things that you want me to talk about. Follow this page. Let's go to Tiffany's YouTube channel, okay? So this is Tiffany's YouTube channel. Let's go down to her Instagram page. I just want you guys to see that this is her Instagram page because some people be having weird names. Let's copy that. Let's go back to my Instagram. Now let's go to Chris Sales. Now let's go to his following. Okay. Oh, I want to know where Tiffany is. I'm sure Chris Sales following her. Boom. He's not. Okay, let's go to followers. Okay, maybe Tiffany's following Chris. Let's have a look at that. Nothing. So Tiffany is not following Chris. Chris is not following Tiffany. So there's no way that Queen could find out who Tiffany was through Instagram. I just thought I'll show you guys that. And that's when Queen Naija made the phone call to Chris's mom.
I tell her what happened. I asked her, does she know who Tiffany is? She said that she has met someone named Tiffany. And she went over there. So I asked, do you have Tiffany's number? She said no, but she could try to get it for me. At the same time, she was going to try to see what was going on over there.
And keep in mind, guys, Chris Sale's mother was also very concerned, and that's why she was helping Queen Naija to get to the bottom of things.
Queen, like, okay, he's okay. I understand. I'm a mother, you know. I'm not feeling none of this. You know,
So I asked her could she try to get the number for me, but could she also give me Nettie's number, because Nettie be knowing a lot of people's numbers over there, like Chris's friends, the girls. I hung up the phone with her hoping to receive a phone number through text so I could call Nettie myself and try to, you know, just figure out where CJ was.
And that's when Queen Naija also did a little bit of her own work to find out where exactly was CJ.
I wanted to find out some information on my own, so I chose to call a girl that I've met before in person. Her kids play with CJ a lot over there. I don't know if you guys see, but like it's two other curly-headed kids and they play with CJ, but I called their mom. I asked her, do you know anyone by the name of Tiffany? And she was like, no, let me ask the kids. And so she wasn't sure. She said her kids said that that wasn't her name. So I was just really confused. She said that she would try to look into it further for me.
As well as that, Chris Sale's mom was on the phone to Tiffany, well, trying to get through to Tiffany, as you can see in this message here.
And so at this point, I'm just waiting on calls back from different people where my son is. So when I hung up the phone, I called Chris's mom back. I asked her, did she get any more information? And she was just like, she tried to call Dwayne, and Dwayne didn't answer the phone, which raised a concern with me because that's her son. I would think that he would answer for his mom, you know, even if he don't answer for me or anyone else. So I was like, okay, what didn't happen?
Queen fails to mention in her video is that allegedly Chris Sale's mother contacted Tiffany and found out that CJ was with him, and she clarified this with her.
The person said yes. So I'm like, okay. So I reached back out to Queen, like, okay, he's okay.
So she hung up with me the second time. She gave me Nettie's number.
She contacted the mom. The mom gave her the sister's info.
But she didn't give Tiffany's number to Queen. Why not? Queen ends up contacting Nettie, who's, by the way, Chris Sale's sister.
And I was asking her about who Tiffany was. And I guess Nettie had already talked to Dwayne herself, because she said Dwayne said that CJ's not there, but I think he's there. I don't know why she felt like CJ was there, but then that made me think, okay, I think CJ's there too then. You know, what if somebody's hiding something? I don't know why they would hide CJ being there from me, but... Or I don't know if they was doing it for purposes so the CPS worker wouldn't come back and look for CJ again. I'm not sure.
So now you guys have two conflicting stories. Queen Naija apparently was told that CJ was with Tiffany, but then Chris's sister's telling Queen that she feels that CJ's with them.
So now I'm thinking, okay, is CJ at that house still and they're not trying to tell nobody, or is he really with Tiffany?
So as you guys know, Chris Sale's mother felt that Queen Naija felt that she was getting the runaround.
She was, I guess, kind of, she felt like she was getting the runaround. I wasn't trying to give it a runaround.
So I'm assuming that she doesn't trust Chris Sale's mother and what she says. And she believes that CJ is at Chris Sale's house with Dwayne, and she feels that they're hiding it from her. She then contacted the other mother, the one with the kids who's friends with CJ.
And she was just like, I haven't gotten any further, but I could go over there and see if CJ is there at the house for you. And I was like, okay, thank you. She was heading over there to Chris's house. Now by this time, Chris was already in custody.
And that's when she made the post on Instagram.
So then I think this is when I made the post on Instagram. I posted it because I was just like, okay, at this point I need answers.
And here's the reason why.
I made that post because, you know, I know that a lot of my supporters help me out a lot. They are kind of like some little investigators. So they could come back and tell me who this person's social media page is and I can DM them. Or maybe someone that is over there around CJ would see the post and call me, or sorry, not call me because they ain't got my number, but they could DM me and let me know some information.
And that was posted around 6:40 p.m. Now the person who took this screenshot is in Virginia. Virginia, Atlanta, and Detroit have the same time. Now the thing is, why didn't Queen Naija press for the number? Why didn't she get the number and try to call Tiffany? Why make that post? So she obviously saw that herself, that was a bit wrong of her to do, because if she didn't think so, why did she take it down? She even said it in the video, well, implied it. She said,
but I deleted it because I was like, maybe I should just try a little harder first before I make this post. So that was the post and delete, okay?
And maybe try asking Chriselle's mother for Tiffany's phone number. Maybe that will help. So she wasn't lying when she said she can't locate her son, because she was determined and she put a perception in her head that her son was with Dwayne in Chriselle's house, and she was coming up with all these theories and stories in her head.
Hey, I think CJ's there too then. You know, what if somebody's hiding something? I don't know why they would hide CJ being there from me, but, or I don't know if they was doing it for purposes so the CPS worker wouldn't come back and look for CJ again. I'm not sure.
Now in the next post, when she was clearing everything up, she didn't clear everything up with honesty and integrity with her fans, because she said, to be clear, I found where my baby was and I spoke to him, blah 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 blah. I would never post anything like this for attention. I believe that. I don't believe she posted for attention. I posted that on my story out of fear after receiving a call from someone in the social service department. I then tried to contact only who I knew in Houston and nobody was answering. Well, that's a lie, because you said yourself,
I chose to call a girl that I've met before in person. Her kids play with CJ a lot over there.
You had a mother that was going to check for you, going to check if CJ was in the house. You had someone clarify with you that CJ was with Tiffany, and that person obviously had the number, but yet you still didn't ask her, and yet she still didn't give it to you. What she should have said was, look guys, I was impatient and I really wanted to know where my son was. I should have asked Chriselle's mom for Tiffany's number, because it was obvious she was trying to get through to Tiffany. She made that post to cover herself up to look good. I think because of what she posted, it created a narrative or an opportunity for people to speculate and make things a lot more worse. At the end of the day, all of them end up promoting their albums or new music that they're coming out with, so this whole thing could be fake. I know a lot of the fans are creating fallacies like, oh, as long as he got his son, that's all that matters. Yes, of course it does. But there's consequences from certain things happening. This is a fallacy to excuse the person's behavior and how they did things. I understand people are like, well, of course, it's her kid. She would do anything to get her kid. Okay, ask for Tiffany's number. Is that hard to do? Like, shit. And I'm talking about the second time. Yeah, the first time she asked for the number, but the second time when she saw that Chris's mom was trying to get through to Tiffany, wouldn't you think she'd be like, hey, can I have Tiffany's number as well? But anyway, at the end of the day, she ends up getting Tiffany's number and she organizes a situation where she can get CJ. A lot of people are saying that she's not, like, obviously if you really cared about your kid, why don't you drive there yourself? And I can understand that, but wouldn't you think it was smarter to get someone there who's closer to bring him to you so it's more quicker? And she ended up getting CJ and then putting her whole family at risk for cops. because it takes up to 2 weeks to show symptoms, according to what the media is saying. This has been the craziest series I've ever made. Bigger than Carmen and Corey, bigger than that whole Janae thing that I did in 2018, bigger than Carmen and Corey and Prince Family, bigger than any other series that I've made. I've done this when the story is so big that it has to be broken down into a whole damn series. I will honestly say this has been the only series that I haven't been able to get a proper conclusion, because people are really bad at explaining shit and giving proper timelines and events and stuff, honestly. Anyway guys, I'll see you in another drama video.